Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull off. Hat on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left. Touchdown. Touchdown. 8th floor. Come down. Hotel. Lobby. Receptionist. What now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest. No recess on my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables. Now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it. That's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking. They don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left. Touchdown.
Okay, Coach, we are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready. Go against the mic. Target. Out. Check nine. Switch.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Darius Leonard, the linebacker, able to break that one up. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. A shotgun snap for Luck. Ebron caught left side. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's the second-year back out of NC State, Naheem Hines. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Luck on third down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. On second and a couple. Luck. Looking deep here for Ebron. He rifles one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now a draw play. This is counter. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Hey, tighten down. There you go. And we're going 37. 37. Man, let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right here. And we're going 37 is the mic. Mike 37. So don't say nothing. And we're going 37 is the mic. Mike. Double dog. That's the way.
On 3rd down, Brissett. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And got his man complete. There he goes left side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, 88 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Boswell good with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, here's Luck. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No. Oh, it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Luck. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now the Purdue man. This is Akeem Hunt. And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Mike, 58, right there. Zoom, zoom. Hey, 58 is the Mike. Go 58's the Mike. Yeah. You don't want none.
Play fake. Brissett. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That's pulled in at the 32. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 1st down, Hines. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after 1. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on. Hey, check right. Watching it. Hey, wahoo! Mark 55. I got you, son. I got you.
Out of the gun, Luck. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Ryan Shazier able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
They'll fake it. Now Luck. It's complete to Brown, right side. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. They'll run on 1st down. It's Hines, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the Colts have taken the lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Brissett. He gets it left side to Johnson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get quarterback.
And that'll set him back 5.
Let's go.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. On the counter, it's Connor. Space to maneuver at the 40. That good for 22 and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
He's coming, double up.
A first down throw for Brissett. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 46 yards. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Again, it'll be Connor. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never...
And he's in! Touchdown, Pittsburgh! James Conner, his first touchdown on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. On 1st down, Locke. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Luck. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. Play action. It's Luck. And he's going to go down again. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. McKenzie now to return it. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
He's crossing. He's checking.
On the run, it's Pumphrey. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Brissett. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. 15 yards on the play, first down.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. All day, every day, any day. Set, go. Go, 58's the Mike.
First down, Brissett. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
58 to Mike, 58. Army. 58, boys, 58. 58 is Mike. And watch your leg. Let it go.
Brissett sets to throw it. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Boswell's kick is good. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. We have hit. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They begin on the ground here with Connor. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of the...
Now, loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 22. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and 12, Luck flushed out right. Finding room inside the 40. Luck showing he can be dangerous when he tucks it and runs. He's able to pick up the 1st down.
How about that scramble by Andrew Luck? Sometimes we forget just how big, strong, and yes, fast Andrew Luck is. When he came out of college at the Combine, shocked everyone, ran a sub-4.840.
And he grew up a big soccer guy over in Europe, so he knows how to use his feet.
That he does, and I think it has helped his legs along the way as well.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Go! Ready! 11 feet!
Now a play fake, and it's Luck. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And the return will stop him well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. So the false start will back them up 5. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
58, boys, 58, 58, it's Mike. Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day, all day. 58, right over there, yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
They go play action with Brissett. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check 58, the Mike.
From the shotgun. It's Brissett. And he's got Moncrief. One heck of a third down conversion. 33 yards.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, have the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Again, it's Brissett. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Off the play fake, here's Brissett. He's going to launch this thing. Wait, looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. Johnson, the intended target. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now it's Hines. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now on 2nd and 13, Brissett, and he'll be brought down by the Colts. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Play action now. Brissett. He's going to launch it for Washington. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the... And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
They've heard what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Now this throw caught left side. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 59 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
That is caught inside the 5. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Check 3. He's coming.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. Oh, and now he's pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Andrew Luck, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks a season ago when he was comeback player of the year. And he needs another one right now if he wants a Colts victory. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Now a desperation throw deep down, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for Indy. 45 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And this is caught at the 8. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Luck now to throw. Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Here's Luck. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. A handoff to start out the drive. It's Pumphrey. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Brissett. Catch made there by Derby, the tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what is...
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no...
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, the head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls and the instrumental. Are you ready? Ready. Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align with.